Hey everybody, this is Tyler Goebel, and I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of your guys' demo for Seven Figure Altitude Monthly Market Overview. And so this presentation is super long. I'm not actually going to go through any of it from a kind of like a true data analysis perspective. There's a bunch of written word stuff inside here. I think really the delivery method for this kind of a presentation would be to actually chunk it up into maybe 4 or 5 different more bite-sized pieces and do kind of like a YouTube screen recording like I'm doing right now over top of that data to help explain it. But I wanted to do this tutorial video for you guys so you could understand kind of how the functionality of these different interactive plots work and kind of the different features we could build into something like this. And so we'll get right into it. And so you can go ahead and you can hyperlink all these different links. So anything you want, send them right to Seven Figure Altitude, get them to sign up there. I went on y'all's YouTube channel, went ahead and grabbed a video that you guys have done recently about market updates, and then we'll go ahead and dig into some of the graphs and some of the visualizations here. And so this is a heat map. This is a state level heat map. I've got data that explains a lot of the stuff that we're looking at from not only a state level but also county, zip code, national, different levels of granularity for the data. But something I love about these graphs is you can hover over them and they will show you all these different attributes inside that data set. And so you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can reset the graph, and then you can also even take a picture of the graph and download it directly to your browser. And so now you have that graph if it was something that you thought was really interesting. And so that's an example of a heat map. Here's another heat map. This one's looking at wages. And then another thing that I like doing is some people like looking at numbers on like a table, and some like looking at these visualizations inside of a map like that. But we can go ahead and give them both, and you can make this as big as you want, all 50 states on one thing, or you can 50 states, including I think national on this as well as DC, or you could just do 5. You do whatever you want. You can customize it. You can go A to Z. You can sort based on total employment. And so obviously the United States has the most employed, but then you go California, Texas, New York, Florida. You go back up to this graph, you see California is red. It's got the most employment. Texas, Florida, New York. And so you can see there's kind of a couple different ways you can skin the cat there, depending on how people like to take in information. So that's an example of a heat map. Here's an example of a kind of line plot, or just more of a less of a geographical looking one. And so you can see, you can look on this, you can click on it, you can zoom in. So one thing I like doing, you can click and drag, and it will snap and auto fit all those different things. And so like I was saying, you can go ahead and download a picture as well, and it'll download the picture for whatever you're looking at. And so this picture will pop up as this portion, even though the data's got a lot more data in there. Double click on it to reset it. You can reset auto scale the axis there, reset the axis there. You can move these around. These buttons will move you around as well. Say I wanted to go 2 years back from this point. Bring me back 2 years. So there's a lot of different ways that you can really play around with this and investigate. And it's always fun, I think, to look at what happened during COVID. So look at that unemployment rate, just skyrocket. Anyways, so that's an example of one line plot. Another heat map. Here's an example of a line plot that's got 2 data sets on it. So you can click on these to toggle on and off if it's kind of cluttering your view. It'll auto snap to make it scaled. And again, you can click on these things, and it'll let you hover over each one of these things. Double click there, bring the federal funds rate back. Now if you go ahead and click compare data on hover, when you just bring your mouse in here, you can basically just walk it down. And so you don't have to go down and click on each of the dots, and it'll highlight both of the lines in the data that's in the lines as well as you're doing this. And so that is a really quick down and dirty on the way this data looks and works. Again, I would recommend just watching this quick tutorial. You can see what's going on with the way the data works. But then if you're interested in kind of playing with it yourself, there's just so many different ways to present information like this, and really we're just limited by imagination. And so we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, and if there's anything I can do for y'all, please do not hesitate to ask. And yeah, appreciate your time.